Park in Durban, where crowds are expected to assemble for that night vigil ahead of President Zuma's first court appearance on those corruption charges tomorrow. Good evening to you. What is the situation like in Durban? Have the crowds assembled? And importantly, I want to know, are any of the supporters there in ANC regalia or branded clothes?
Yes. Well, a very good evening to our listeners at home and to our viewers as well. Like I said, we are here now in Durban at the University of Technology, where students of SASCO and members of the ANC have converged to say that they are going to rally behind the president, who has been charged with 18 counts that include fraud, corruption, money laundering and racketeering. But to tell me more about this, I've got Edward Zuma, the son of the former president, who will tell us more about why have they mobilized such support, in particular the students as well. Edward Zuma, we know that you have gathered here with some members of the ANC, but you've expressed that you've come here in your personal capacity. Tell us about today's gathering.
Yeah, well, it's a gathering of South Africans who correctly believe in the innocence of the former president. Some of them are ANC members, some of them are not ANC members. So it's basically South Africans, like I had said earlier on, who believe that there is a witch hunt to tarnish the image of the former president, which has lasted for decades and decades, and it's an endless escapade of that particular mission.
Edward, recently you voiced your concerns over the comments that was issued by Ubhekicele, saying that members of the ANC cannot go out and rally behind the president that is said to be corrupt. What was your posture and stance on that?
Well, I found it to be very confusing and very much upset, as you can see behind. Most of the citizens of this country that are behind us are members of the ANC. Now, if you then deny them the opportunity to correctly vent their anger, it's really very much disturbing. You know, for one to say members of the ANC should not do that, I found it not making sense. And I believe before you are a member of the ANC, you are a South African citizen. And here is a citizen that is being victimized, and they are rallying behind that citizen as citizens themselves, regardless of their political affiliation.
We are reliably informed that tomorrow members of the ANC as well will also be converging outside the courts, also rallying behind the president. Just give us a gist about that tomorrow.
Well, I would want to believe there are organizers of that particular mission, and I would want to respect and want to say they would be able to furnish us with those particular details. Mine being here is to show and encourage the South African citizens that are here, who happen to be students of the UT and surroundings, to show my support that indeed what they are doing is very much appreciated, and they should do it all the time.
And very lastly, Edward, the former President Jacob Zuma is being charged with corruption, counts of money laundering, racketeering. What's the general mood in the Zuma household, and how is the former president feeling at home?
I've said this before and I'll say it again. I am not a family spokesperson, and I am in no position to speak on behalf of the family. Therefore, I would not know as to how they feel about it.
Okay, and just before we let you go, lastly, Mr. Edward Zuma, will you be with the president inside court tomorrow?
Definitely, I would have to be there. It's a must.
Thank you very much. Well, you've heard it. That's Edward Zuma, the son of the former President Jacob Zuma. They are right here at the Durban University of Technology, where hundreds of students have come here to rally their support for the president, who faces 18 counts of corruption, money laundering and racketeering. And we also understand that the state as well will call over 200 witnesses. And one of those witnesses, of course, is the now mayor of Cape Town, Patricia de Lille, who was also said to be the whistleblower in this particular case. But I do promise you that as the night progresses, we will bring you a lot more on this story.
All right, we'll keep crossing to you throughout the evening then to get a sense of how things are developing down there in Durban. And of course, that's going to be a very interesting one to watch as it unfolds over the coming hours, because of course, we know that the ANC has quite categorically said people may not show up in Durban to support the former president wearing party paraphernalia. And already we're seeing there that a number of them, certainly Edward Zuma, his son, is dressed in full ANC colours. And the confluence of roles as an ANC supporter, as a supporter of his father, are certainly going to be converging. Over now.